The last leaf. The last leaf is hope. Here we highlight how important it is for a person to have willpower and hope. A small act can light the lamp of hope in a person's heart. Characters. Johnsy, a young artist from California who lives with Sue in Greenwich Village. She contracts pneumonia and dreams of painting the Bay of Naples. Sue, a young artist from Maine who is Johnsy's roommate and takes care of her. She is optimistic and tries to improve Johnsy's spirit. Berman, an old Kentucky's artist who lives downstairs from Sue and Johnsy. He is a renowned painter who paints a realistic leaf to save Johnsy's life. The doctor, an unnamed doctor who is dismissive but well-intentioned. Greenwich Village, which is a section of New York, is a place for people who are interested in art. Among these artists are Johnsy and Sue. Both of them had recently come to New York to make their living. However, in November, Johnsy had pneumonia and was stuck at her bed, looking through the small window at the black wall of the opposite building. One morning, the doctor talked to Sue and said,
She has about one chance in 10 to live, and that one chance depends upon her desire to get better. But your little friend has made up her mind that she is going to die. Is she worrying about something?
She wanted to paint a picture of the Bay of Naples one day.
No, something more important. A man, perhaps?
No.
Well, perhaps it is a result of her fever and her general weakness. But a patient begins to feel that she is going to die. Then I subtract 50% of the power of the medicine. If you can make her interested in something, then I promise you a 1 in 5 chance, instead of the 1 in 10.
After the doctor had gone, Sue went into her own room and cried. Later, trying not to show her sadness, she went into Johnsy's room, whistling.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7,
What is it, Johnsy?
6. They are falling faster now. 3 days ago there were almost 100. It makes my head ache to count them, but now it's easy. There goes another one. There are 5 left now.
5? What, dear? Tell me.
Leaves. The leaves of that vine. When the last leaf of that vine falls, I must go too. I've known that for 3 days. Didn't the doctor tell you?
The doctor didn't say such things. It's pure foolishness. What connection have those odd leaves with your getting well? And you used to love that old wine so much. Please don't be silly. The doctor told me this morning that your chance of getting well soon were excellent. Now try to take some of your soup and let me get back to work so that I can make money to buy you some good port wine.
There is no use buying any more wine. There goes another leaf. That leaves just 4. I want to see the last one fall before it gets dark. Then I will go to...
Johnsy, dear, will you promise me to keep your eyes closed, not to look out of the window, until I have finished working? I must deliver these drawings tomorrow. I need the light, otherwise I would put down the curtain.
Can't you draw in your room?
I would rather stay here with you. Besides, I don't want you to keep looking at those silly leaves.
Tell me soon as you have finished, because I want to see the last leaf fall. I am tired of waiting. I'm tired of thinking.
Old Miss Bellman was a painter who lived on the first floor beneath them. He was more than 60 years old. Berman was a failure in art. He had always wanted to paint a masterpiece, but he had never yet begun to paint it. He drank much whiskey, and when he was drunk, always talked about the great masterpiece he was going to paint. He was a fierce, intense little man who considered himself as a watchdog and protector for the two young artists living above him, of whom he was very fond. Sue told him of the strange idea which Johnsy had concerning the last leaf, and Sue said that she feared that Johnsy would really die when the last leaf fell.
Are there people in the world who are foolish enough to die simply because leaves fall from an old vine? I have never heard such a thing. Why do you permit such silly ideas to come into her mind? Who, that poor little Miss Johnsy?
She is very ill, very weak, and the fever has left her mind full of strange ideas.
When Sue woke up the next morning, she found Johnsy with dull, wide open eyes looking at the window.
Put up the curtain. I want to see.
After the heavy rain and the strong wind, one leaf was still hanging on the vine. The last leaf, still dark green, it hung from a branch some 20 feet above the ground.
It is the last one. I thought it would surely fall during the night. I heard the wind and the rain. It will fall today and I shall die at the same time.
Dear Johnsy, think of me if you don't think of yourself. What shall I do?
The day passed slowly, and then, with the coming of the night, the wind began to blow again, and the rain began to fall heavily. But the next morning, when Johnsy commanded that the curtain to be raised again, the leaf was still there. Johnsy lay for a long time looking at it, and then she called to Sue.
I have been a bad girl, Sue. Something has made the last leaf stay there just to show me how bad I was. It was a sin to die. You may bring me a little soup now and then put some pillows behind me. I will sit up and watch you cook. Sue, someday I want to paint a picture of the Bay of Naples.
You are doing fine. In another week or so, you will be perfectly well. And now, I must go to see the other patients downstairs. His name, Berman. He is some kind of artist. I believe. Pneumonia too. He is an old, weak man. And the attack is very severe. There's no hope for him. But I'm sending him to the hospital in order to make him more comfortable.
The next day, Sue came to the bed where John C. lay.
The doctor tell me that soon you will be perfectly well again. Isn't it wonderful? But now I have something important to tell you. Old Mr. Berman died in the hospital this morning of pneumonia. He was sick only 2 days. They found him in his room the morning the first day, helpless with pain and fever. His clothes and shoes were completely wet and icy cold. They couldn't figure where he had been on such a terrible night. And then they found a lantern still lighted, a ladder and some things, which showed that during the winter and the rain he climbed up and painted a green leaf on the wall of the opposite house. Didn't you think it was strange that the leaf never moved a bit when the wind blew? Darling, it was Berman's real masterpiece. He painted it there the night that the last leaf fell.